Hello. In the last lesson I taught you how to deal with the Russian police. In this lesson I want to teach you how to deal with Russian women. Girls, don't worry, if you watch this video you will also learn some Russian language and you will also learn some Russian behaviors. So you also need to know what will happen if a Russian boy will try to approach you, will try to flirt with you. And you will also learn some Russian language because I will use absolutely basic phrases which can be used just to make friends. So, why am I addressing male audience in the first place? Think about this. In Russia, it is the responsibility of a man to approach a woman. It's simple as this. The woman's responsibility is to give a signal that you can approach me. I'm interested in you, or it's fine to approach me. What is the signal? The signal is you have to establish an eye contact. Once, twice. Yes, 2 times you have to establish an eye contact and smile while you're looking at the person. Don't stare at the person. I know some Germans like to stare at people. Don't stare at the people. Just look once, smile. If you get a look back and a smile twice, an eye contact, you can go straight away and start speaking with the girl. What should you speak about with the girl? I absolutely cannot tell you anything about this because it's depending on the situation and well, basically use everything what you know about communicating with just people, anything interesting. Or you have to understand something. Because you're a foreigner, it's automatically Russians will be more or less interested in you. Even though we can travel for the last 20 years, we can go to any countries, but many people do not have the possibility to go somewhere far. They also don't have a courage to just go somewhere. So they like to know foreigners because it's a way of traveling. They would like to know something about you, what you're doing in Russia, how comes that you speak a little bit of Russian language, what is your intention of speaking Russian language. So you won't have much of troubles with this. My foreign friends are telling me when I was preparing this lesson and before when I was just chatting with them about their experience in Russia, they say it's much better to start speaking in English or in your own language and figure out maybe the person speaks a little bit of this language. I know it sounds kind of boring for you because you want to exercise your Russian language. However, start speaking in your own language or in English because it will create a deeper contact, and people like to exercise their language skills. However, the language skills of Russians will be more or less rudimental, so they won't be enough to communicate on a higher level. So don't worry, you will start communicating in Russian at some point anyway. Well, so you already started a conversation. You try to understand if she speaks English or German or French, and you already talked a little bit about the knowledge of foreign languages. You can make some fun of this or you can take it serious. What will you do next? Well, what will you do next? Basically, you will show your interest in the girl. So, let's start. The very first contact. Smile and say Privet. Privet. About Privet, it should sound straightforward, confident. Privet. Privet, privet, privet. Exercise this. You will hear it a lot in Russia. Privet, it means hello. Privet is usually the word we use to say hello to our friends. Privet. The person we don't know yet, we should address Здравствуйте in the polite form. There are quite few ways of addressing people. However, in this lesson, I'm thinking about you making friends with somebody. And making friends, the state of mind is very important. So even if you're a little bit older, I don't know, 40, 50, and you want to approach a woman, don't fall for this. Don't start conversation with this polite здравствуйте or something. If this person will be interested in you, they will be absolutely okay with Privet. So they should be okay with Privet. Otherwise, if they feel awkward about this or they don't want to be addressed in Privet, it's probably not the right person for you to continue your conversation, because you don't have the sufficient Russian language and you want to have an easygoing person to communicate with. So start your conversation with confident "Привет, привет, привет." Don't worry if you cannot roll R like Russians. Привет. R. Your tip of your tongue should touch the upper part of your mouth. R. Try to exercise this. Привет. Привет. Don't worry if it doesn't sound Russian. It should be confident. It should be confident and friendly, smiling at the girl. Привет. After привет, as I told you, you have to understand which language this girl is speaking. Probably she will speak a little bit of English. In most of the Russian schools, people study English starting with the 3rd, 5th grade, so they will speak some English. If you realize that, well, she's not speaking enough English to have a meaningful conversation, and she cannot communicate anything, you need to communicate that you like her. You just simply have to tell her straightforward, I like you, I want to be friends with you. So the great sentence for this, which you can use also in basically any country in the world: I liked you. Let's get to know each other. Ты мне понравилась. Понравилась. Давай познакомимся. Давай познакомимся. Познакомимся. Давай познакомимся. Ты means you, мне, to me, понравилась, I like. So, I liked you. Ты мне понравилась. Понравиться means to like, to love. However, does not have any love information in this. You just, I liked you. Ты мне понравилась. Repeat after me. Ты мне понравилась. Again, this R. Ты мне понравилась. Давай, let's, познакомимся. Let's get to know each other. Давай познакомимся. Ты мне понравилась. Давай познакомимся. Ты мне понравилась. Давай познакомимся. Read it for yourself. And now repeat after me. Ты мне понравилась. Давай познакомимся. Why am I repeating it so many times? I want you to hear it as many times as possible and repeat it as many times as possible, because it's such a useful phrase. This phrase is basically a real icebreaker. After this phrase, the other person cannot just send you away. They need to try to communicate with you. Ты мне понравилась. Ты мне понравилась. Давай познакомимся. Well, for you girls, you can also say to a boy, ты мне понравился. So, ты мне понравился. Давай познакомимся. Ты мне понравился. Давай познакомимся. The boy will be absolutely happy to hear this from you. However, what kind of signal will it be? It is not known. The way the boy will react on this, it's such an unusual and breaking of taboos in Russia. I will be very happy if you write me some comments about the reaction of guys on this phrase. So, ты мне понравилась. Давай познакомимся. Ты мне понравился. Давай познакомимся. Ты мне понравилась. Давай познакомимся. Well, you told us. Then you need to deal with the situation. What will you talk about? I don't know. You will talk mostly about why are you in Russia? What are you doing in Russia? She will want to know a lot about about you as foreigner. As I told you, we don't have that many foreigners in Russia, and it's always such a great event to meet one and to get to know a little bit about their lives and what they're doing in Russia. It was also very interesting for Russians that some people are enjoying to come to Russia. So basically, you will discuss something, you will talk about something, maybe you will go to a cafe. She might invite you, you might invite her to drink a tea. If you want to invite her to drink a tea, you can ask попьем чаю. Попьем чаю. Попьем чаю. Let's drink some tea. Попьем чаю. Or пошли в кафе. Let's go to the restaurant. Пошли в ресторан. Пошли в кафе. However, you have to understand and you have to know that if you invite a girl in Russia, usually they expect you to pay for them. It's not like this in many big cities. In Moscow, for example, in St. Petersburg, it's kind of divided now. Sometimes girls pay for themselves, sometimes they insist of paying for themselves. However, per default, you have to expect that that Russian girl, a Russian woman, will expect you to pay for her. In general, if you date a Russian woman, usually they expect you to pay for them. It is something in Russia, and it's not something that the girls are poorer than the men. It is more of the state of mind. The girls think that the way a boy or a guy spends money on her reflects his love for her or the way he likes her. It's something I heard from friends because I questioned myself why is it this way, and this was the only answer I got about this. Maybe you know something else. Write it down. So, попьем чаю, пошли в кафе means let's go somewhere. We will have another place to talk to, and especially right now it's winter, it's getting really cold. You have to meet somewhere. In your place, maybe I will start looking for somebody, or I will start a conversation already in a cafe, somewhere where it's warm and silent. Don't go to a big discotheque where it's too loud, because you already got a problem of communication. It will be even worse if you got a very loud music somewhere. So, you got to know her, you approached her, you told Privet. You try to figure out if she speaks English or German or French, any language. If she speaks no language, or even if she speaks something, you can tell her, I liked you. Ты мне понравилась. Давай познакомимся. Let's get to know each other. Yes, and you got a conversation. You speak about something, you hang out, maybe you hang out on the street, she shows you something, she explains something to you. And then it comes the time where you need to say goodbye. Either she goes or you need to go. In this case, you need to suggest her another meeting. Then you need to tell her, давай с тобой встретимся на неделе. Давай с тобой встретимся на неделе. Давай с тобой встретимся на неделе. Познакомимся. Познакомимся. And because you speak such a great Russian, you can also add что скажешь? Что скажешь? Скажешь. Что скажешь? So, let's work on a sentence. Давай с тобой встретимся на неделе. Давай с тобой встретимся. Let's meet with you. Давай means let's. You remember? Давай познакомимся. Let's get to know each other. Давай с тобой встретимся. Let's meet with you. Давай. Let's с with тобой you. Встретимся. Meet. Let's meet with you. Давай с тобой встретимся. Actually, if you would put it as a question, it will be enough. So if you don't trust yourself of memorizing a long sentence, you can tell her, давай с тобой встретимся. You can also show your Russian knowledge, the knowledge of your Russian language, and make her expecting that you will speak even more Russian once you meet along the week. So you can say, давай с тобой встретимся на неделе, along the week, during the week, or under the week. So на неделе means along this whole week, including the weekend. Давай с тобой встретимся на неделе. Давай с тобой встретимся на неделе. Познакомимся. Get to know each other. Что скажешь? What would you say about this? Что скажешь? This что скажешь is quite useful. If you put a sentence, you just put a statement and you want to have a confirmation from the person, or you want to know what's this person's opinion about something that you just told, you can add что скажешь. What would you say? Что скажешь? Что скажешь? I'm pronouncing it что. However, you can pronounce it as что. Что скажешь? Давай с тобой встретимся на неделе. Познакомимся. Что скажешь? If you pronounce it as что, it's perfect. This is the way it's supposed to be pronounced. If you pronounce it что, it's also fine. Nobody will blame you. Because you're a foreigner, you can do whatever you want with Russian language. Давай с тобой встретимся на неделе. Познакомимся. Что скажешь? Давай с тобой встретимся. Would be also enough. Давай с тобой встретимся. Let's with you meet. Давай с тобой встретимся. На неделе. Along the week. Познакомимся. Get to know each other. Что скажешь? What would you say about this? However, if you will meet somebody on the street, or if you want to flirt or get to know somebody on the street, often Russian girls hang out with their friends, so with another girls. Actually, it's of your benefit. It takes a little bit more of self-confidence and a little bit more of courage to approach two girls or three girls at the same time, especially if you're foreigner. However, it's to your benefit. If you see some girls and you like one of them, try to get into contact with her. Try to look at her, smile at her, get your two eye contacts and a smile. It means you are allowed to approach me, and if this girl is approached by you as a foreigner, it will push up her self-confidence in her environment with other girls. She is so special that a foreigner started to be interested in her, and because she's got some friends, it will be also easier to communicate. You can they will ask all of the possible questions, whatever they know in English, and they will try to communicate with you. They will try to make fun of you. You will be kind of an event for them during the day. However, you cannot really suggest to one of them to let's get to know us a little bit closer while she's with three friends. So you have to be more political in this. Maybe after you say goodbye, пока, you already know, you learned from my lessons how to say goodbye. Maybe before she goes, you can say, maybe you will give me your number. How would you say, will you give me your number? Дашь мне свой номер? Дашь мне свой номер. Номер. Дашь мне свой номер. Дашь мне свой номер. Дашь мне свой номер. Will you give me your number? Дашь means give, мне, to me, свой, your, number. Дашь мне свой номер. Implying that it's number of telephone. You can also tell, дашь мне свой номер телефона. Телефона. Телефон would be telephone. Телефона would mean of the telephone, the number of the telephone. Дашь мне свой номер телефона? So technically it would be the question word, question sentence. Дашь мне свой номер телефона? Or if you say дашь мне свой номер would be also fine. You can even tell it without мне. Дашь свой номер? Дашь свой номер? So you're saying goodbye to each other, but you really want to see her later on. You can say дашь мне свой номер or дашь свой номер. It sounds great. It gives a little bit of intimacy, and it shows her, well, he really liked me and he really wants to meet again. Дашь мне свой номер. Or you can also use an extended phrase, because this phrase replaces actually the one which was before. Let's meet along the week. Let's get to know each other. Дашь свой номер телефона? Встретимся на неделе. Дашь свой номер может встретимся с на неделе. So, дашь мне свой номер? Will you give me your number? Дашь, will you give, свой, your, number. Дашь свой номер? Может, встретимся на неделе. Может means maybe, встретимся. We'll get to meet each other. Встретимся. We will get to meet each other. So here it's implied the future and each other in one verb. Может, встретимся. На неделе, along the week, during the week. Дашь свой номер? Может, встретимся на неделе. And by the way, these two sentences, or this sentence, дашь свой номер, it's very useful. Let's assume you are somewhere at the university, you got to know somebody, and you like this person. However, you haven't pointed out that, well, you are really interested in her or him. But in back of your mind, you think, oh well, this is a nice person. I want to hang out with her or him. Then you can use this sentence. Дашь свой номер? Может, встретимся на неделе. Дашь свой номер? Может, встретимся на неделе. Может, встретимся на неделе. I thought it's as a statement, but you can also put a question, like a rhetorical question. Может, встретимся на неделе. Дашь свой номер? Может, встретимся на неделе. However, think about this. Don't use it straight away. If you just got to meet somebody, a girl or a boy or somebody you like, don't try to get the number straight away. First, realize if they are interested or they're nice, you like to communicate with them, and later, before saying goodbye, you can request a number, and this way you will also really point out that you like this person and you want to meet. I hope you liked this lesson, and maybe you want to know a little bit more about flirting, about getting to know people. Write it in the comment section, and I'm promising to you, if you get some interesting questions and some valid points, I will make an extra lesson, and I will put it on the Russian Online University. I already prepared a special lesson, a special series of lessons, which are called The Survival Guide for Russia. You can go to the Russian Online University, visit it,